everyone, I am Mrs Esther Massey. Welcome back to another session of Lesson 3 of History, the Making of a Global World. Today we will study about what happened in the 19th century from 1815 to 1914. In the 19th century, economic, political, social, cultural and technological factors interacted in complex ways to transform societies and reshape external relations. Three flows of movement were identified by economists. The first is the flow of trade, referred largely to trade in goods, especially cloth and wheat. The second is the flow of labor, the migration of people in search of employment. And the third is the movement of capital, that is money, for short-term or long-term investment over long distances.
Industrialization and population growth had increased the demand for food grains in Britain in the late 18th century. This situation raised up the food grain prices. Now let's study the Corn Law and its effects. Due to the pressure from the landowners, the government restricted the import of corn. These laws were commonly known as Corn Laws. After the introduction of the Corn Laws, food prices became very high. Industrialists and people living in towns were unhappy with high good prices. They forced the British government to abolish the Corn Laws. After the abolition of the Corn Laws, food could be imported into Britain at much cheaper rate than before. British agriculture was unable to compete with imports. Vast areas of land were uncultivated and thousands of people lost their livelihood. They came to the cities in search of work and migrated overseas. Now let's look at the effects of abolition of Corn Laws. As food prices fell, consumption in Britain increased. From the mid-19th century, faster industrial growth in Britain led to higher incomes and more demand for food. Around the world in Eastern Europe, Russia, America and Australia, land was cleared to cultivate more food grains to meet the increasing demand of Britain. New railways and harbours were needed to export agricultural products. Increasing number of workers needed more homes and settlements. All these activities required money and labor. Capital flowed from financial centers such as London. Due to the demand for labor, millions of people emigrated from Europe to America and Australia in the 19th century in search of a better life. By the 1890s, a global agricultural economy had developed. Sometimes food came from thousands of miles away by railways or ships. Some of this dramatic change, though on a smaller scale, occurred in West Punjab. In India, the British rule transformed Punjab into a fertile agricultural land by developing irrigation system for growing wheat and cotton for export. Regional commodities developed so far that between 1820 and 1914, world trade had multiplied 25 to 40 times. Students, I hope you all have understood this much. We will continue this lesson in my next video. Thanks for watching.